online haircut.
Welcome back to Avenues, episode 170 we're on. And it's the first of the month. October has arrived, meaning spooky season, as they call it, is here, which I love Halloween. I've talked about that before. Can't wait for our Halloween special that will be happening at the end of the month. Stay tuned. We're back in the room for this week's episode. Unfortunately, we failed to get another guest on this week. We'll keep trying. So I guess let's jump right into things. I've been getting over a sickness this week, so if I sound kind of weird, it's because I have been coughing like non-stop. Like I'm not sick anymore, but it's like that cough you get when it's like done and like you're starting to like
get better.
Yeah, and then it hurts, dude. Like it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, kind of has fucked up my voice a little bit. But yeah, we'll jump right into things. Starting it off.
Toy Story has collaborated with the NFL, and basically they are doing a animated live stream.
This is live streamed on what?
Yeah, so it's TSN in Canada.
What?
And like all the sports channels, so CTV, TSN, BCE, all these like normal, all your normal like broadcasting things, and yeah, so the original telecast will be live from London's Wembley Stadium because they're playing in Europe. So it's the Falcons versus the Jaguars, I believe, and yeah, so like it's kind of weird, like it's a weird idea. And I actually don't understand like directly why they're doing it. Maybe just to like garner more views and attention. But like, let's see if I can find like gameplay. There was like, it was on ESPN. So here's the field, right? It's like staged in Andy's room. You have the field there, and then you have like some of the characters. So you got Buzz on the side right here. I'll throw a picture on screen. So you got Buzz on the side, Rex, and then you got like, I think you'll see like Andy somewhere. And then it's kind of funny, the downs, like the down marker is like the Slinky dog guy. So he like walks across and he's the down marker. But yeah, so it's weird. So I'm pretty sure it's like a direct animation like synced up with the stream, as well as like the commentators being streamed as well. But it's so weird to me. Like I don't know how they're doing this. I don't know how they map it out, but pretty cool idea. But what do you think generally of the whole thing?
I wonder who came up with this idea. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's pretty this is pretty creative, I'll say. Like I think someone really had to think of this.
Yeah. And
I don't know who's getting the bag here, NFL or Toy Story or Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool, pretty creative, fun for the kids as well, probably.
Yeah, it's like a weird way of doing it, right? Like people are watching the game like that, so I don't know, it's weird. Do you think it's a good decision? Do you think it's like it brings people to the game, detracts people? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if anything it just attracts people because, well, first of all, you're getting a lot of money because it's a investment at the end of the day, because what will happen is people will go and want to watch it, maybe pay for it even if it's like a pay-per-view. And then they will have money from that. But I think it will only bring eyes to the game, if not new eyes as well, because they're going to be like, what is this? Or Toy Story fans. Maybe Toy Story fans that don't watch football, they'll go and watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
Or vice versa. Football fans that love Toy Story will go and watch this. Maybe they're not a Jaguars fan, but they'll go watch a game, see Trevor Lawrence fucking run out of the pocket. And I saw like fire coming out of his feet when it was.
Yeah, like they animated the run and stuff. Like pretty like innovative for sure. But I don't know. I feel like there could be something here, like potential for like, I don't know, in the future you might see more games broadcasted like this.
Toy Story.
Yeah, maybe not Toy Story, but like this is
Is this available in Canada to watch?
Yeah, I think it said TSN. So, it's on today, I guess.
It's not even like on YouTube. It's like a national television.
Yeah, like it's on cable and broadcast. I know that's weird to me, but yeah, honestly, a pretty cool idea and cool to see. Like very innovative, I guess. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, I saw this this week, and this was actually today, I believe. Europe wins the 2023 Ryder Cup for golf. These guys have been battling it out for a while now, and they finally got it in Rome. The PGA Tour, this has been going on for a while now, obviously. So big event. Shout out to Europe. I mean, he wouldn't have missed the putt at the end. With I don't know who did that, but like I don't know much about this, but there was a big mess up with the putt, and I mean for me I'd say putting is probably the hardest part in golf. Yeah, everyone's like saying like they choked, or like it wasn't on Europe, but the person that lost, Ricky Fowler, yeah, and it was it was on America. So yeah, putting gotta be one of the hardest parts of golf, I want to say, and I think that's kind of interesting to see, like a Europe, not like a country.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's kind of
winning in Rome for the Ryder Cup. But yeah, everyone's fucking like getting so upset of Ricky Howler missing that putt, because I think they could have won that if he made the putt. So, upsetting for America. Good on Europe.
Yeah, is that like so obviously Europe won, but is it like continents that are playing, or is it like?
I don't know that much on the Ryder Cup specifically, but if I go to Google here, probably find the okay, so it's played in odd numbered years. Okay, so the United States, 12 members from the United States and from Europe. So I don't know. I feel like in that sense Europe would have an advantage because they get more countries involved. Luke Donald, being the captain, led the team to victory, and there's also vice captains as well, which I didn't know about. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 7 vice captains, which is interesting because it's like, how would that work with there's like 12, 11 people on a team?
Yeah, that's a good point. And also
really
in golf, like, how are you in a golf game like a captain? Like, I understand.
I think they take turns.
Okay.
Per
so it's just like
hole. Per hole, I think. That would make sense. Yeah. They also have home advantage being in Italy. However, none of the players are Italian.
Oh.
So
there
that's
you go.
ironic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's this year's Ryder Cup. That's a quick topic, so I can bring up another one here. So today, actually, on Sunday, this is the last time, I don't know how, the last inning or the last game for Miggy Cabrera from the Tigers, being involved with the program since 2008. He is done. This is his last game to play at all. And it's funny because obviously Tigers fans, they love Miggy, and they've actually changed their Instagram profile. I'll show Justin, the Detroit Tigers, and then they got him as the profile, and it says the official Instagram account of Miguel Cabrera's Detroit Tigers. So that's quite interesting. I think they've been hyping this up for so long. They've been hyping this game up specifically for like over a week of just like feed post after feed post of Cabrera.
Holy, yeah.
And I get he's good, but like, damn, this is literally his account at this point.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it because he's so good, and all the Venezuelans love him. And he's just been on the feed, and then like today is the last day. Like every time he's played recently, they've been posting about it, but now they're like saying, okay, today is the last day, and then he's gonna be done. So he's been a part of the program since 2008. Being 40 years old, he's retiring, and he's been quite the icon in the MLB. The MLB has been posting about him as well. And it's actually free to watch. They're making this game free to watch on MLB TV. So that's cool, I guess. Making it free. And yeah, a lot of people are sad about this. I think just, celebrate a great career.
Yeah.
And congratulations to Cabrera being 4 years old and doing that. He first started with the Marlins, I think, in 2003. And then now, since he's joined in 2008, everyone's loved him. So
Yeah.
congrats to Cabrera on a great season.
Yeah, for sure. Like, playing that long, having that, like, much longevity and, like, a tough sport is just, like, insane to be playing for that long. So, yeah, good for him for sure.
He's still making good plays, is what I'm trying to say. And he's not, like...
falling off.
Yeah, no, he's not. Yeah, good for him.
All right, so the topic that I want to cover is the Canadian government passed this new bill called C11, and basically this bill censors a bunch of streaming platforms. So I have this post here, and we'll briefly explain what happens. So what is Bill C-11? C-11, also known as the Online Streaming Act, expands the CRT's power over radio and television to all audiovisual content on the internet, including TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Netflix, etc. So basically, the CRTC is like Canada's, I think it stands for Canadian Radio and Television Commission or Committee, and basically they get to like pretty much regulate what gets shown and displayed on like TV channels and cable and broadcast in Canada. And basically this bill allows CTRC to take control and regulate over all of the new streaming platforms coming up. So over the past like couple of years, streaming has passed cable and broadcast in viewership, and cable is falling off. There's probably only about like 3 groups sort of keeping cable alive, which is like mostly old people watching the news, people watching sports, and then
young kids watching cartoons.
And yeah, young kids probably, right? So yeah, Bill C-11 basically now controls what we see, and basically the idea behind the bill I don't think is not a bad idea. They want to help support Canadian like content creators and like Canadian content in general. But by doing this, basically, so in this act, content creators and stuff have to put money back into the Canadian, like commission or whatever. Like, so they put money back into other creators. So basically, yeah. So these platforms will be forced to make financial contributions to producing content that is officially recognized as CanCon, which is just like Canadian content. However, the system is uneven. Titles such as Gotta Love Trump have been approved as CanCon, but not iconic Canadian titles such as The Handmaid's Tale or Turning Red,
What the hell? Why?
So I don't know. I think so. Why? The actual reasoning for the bill is money, obviously. Legacy broadcasting medias are in decline as media such as radio and television are being trumped in popularity and revenue by modern streaming services. The CRTC and these legacy media outlets are longtime friends, so rather than competing with online streaming, Bill C-18 happens. So yeah, it was originally introduced in 2011, this bill, and it wasn't passed till like last night, so or Thursday, so a couple of days ago, this week. And then yeah, like Pierre Poilievre, who's like the conservative leader in Canada, is like the shadow prime minister, or like in the shadow cabinet. He was just saying how this bill sort of encroaches on people's like freedom of speech, and like how, and YouTube is like, I think they're gonna put a big lawsuit in, because it basically screws up their whole algorithm. Like, instead of it being based on your interest and likes, it's gonna be based on your location, right? Because they need to like support Canadian content creators. So instead of pushing the content that you would like and like want to watch, they're pushing
Canadian stuff if you're in Canada.
Canadian stuff. And I think there's also a segment on like indigenous culture, so they're also going to be pushing that out. So yeah, overall like a very like impactful bill, and it probably will impact us like in our podcast too, like how we produce it. I don't know. I think you have to like register now for your own content and your own podcast. So yeah, it will be interesting to see how this plays out.
So you're not allowed to have a podcast unless you get permission. from the
Um,
government?
I think you have to like re-register now to like Spotify, because now Spotify has to go through the CTRC. So they have to like they're in talks now pretty much. So yeah, I guess if you're like a big podcast, you have to get like certified pretty much by the government, but I don't know. We'll see. We don't really know much because it just happened, but we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, I mean, how I see it is like, well, I don't have much knowledge of this right now. But I have a feeling this is not going to be a good thing. These CRT people, they manage cable. They manage the television providers, and they are the filter for the eyes of people that watch cable, right?
Yeah.
So for them to be on the internet and YouTube, the two big differences I see off the bat are the fact that with cable, you have much more restrictions as opposed to YouTube, the internet in general. Cable is not the internet. So, for example, you can't be swearing on national television. You can't be putting your opinion out there, really. And it's like, makes sense. Cable. That's just how it's been. For the internet, that's not the case. For the internet, you can share your opinion, whether it's talking about, I don't know, child marriage, or talking about, I don't know, the carpentry. Like, anything about any subject you can give your opinion on and say anything you want about it. And that is what makes the internet very unique, and that's what I think the CRT people are not going to go with. For me, it seems like they're going to be more restricted with that, and they want to kind of, from what I have a hunch, they're going to be going with the political agenda of having, censorship. That's just what I think will happen just by, hearing this and reading it. I could be totally wrong. These people could be chill, whatever, doing, I God knows what, I don't know what their goal is in this, but that's just what it seems like is going to happen for me. That's just kind of the vibe I get from it. Yeah, I don't know if this will be a good thing.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that. I think that, yeah, like you said, the internet is unique because it allows people to share their opinion. Like, one of the reasons we started the podcast was to share our own opinion on like anything we want, right? And there's sort of like a freedom in doing so. You even see with like X, like Twitter, now that Elon Musk bought it, like bringing all these people that got like banned and shadow banned because he's trying to promote like freedom of speech and like allowing people to share their opinions.
He hasn't really done that though.
Well, he like unbanned a lot of people, right? Like,
yeah, but they've gone banned again. Like, yeah, he's been saying that, and like it's kind of coming into fruition, but not really. I think the big difference though that you got to realize is like, I don't believe in hate speech. I don't believe in
for sure.
spreading hate, no matter what it is. I don't like. I'm a positive person. I don't believe in spreading hate for no reason, just throwing it out there, putting negative energy into the world for no reason. There's a difference between freedom of speech and hate speech. I don't think hate speech belongs in this world, and I think people should realize what's the difference between hate speech and freedom of speech is, because a lot of times nowadays there is no difference for society. I think, you share your opinion, someone doesn't agree with it, okay, let's shut them down.
Yeah.
That happened with Steve will do it in YouTube. Steve will do it is not allowed to be on YouTube. If you have a video, I don't know if you knew this, but Nelk talked about it in their podcast. If he's on anybody's YouTube video, they will take it down.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Because they don't want anything to do with them. That's why he's been sponsored by Kick and did all those ads with Kick. And I think Kick is a great platform because it's one of the only platforms nowadays. I mean, I guess now, but like, it's one of the only big platforms where you can have freedom of speech. And I think that freedom of speech, everybody has a voice, I believe. Doesn't matter who you are, what age you are, what gender you are, everybody has a voice, and that voice has meaning. And when you take that away, that's taking away freedom of speech. And I don't think that's fair to the population of the world. Like I said, hate speech, freedom of speech, different. From some 12-year-old kid spazzing out on Twitter, calling people, like whatever the hell. Like, that's different, right? That doesn't belong there. But if someone wants to share their opinion on gender equality, then go ahead, right? Like, So that's how I see it. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, to touch on the point, like I feel like if you don't agree with the like mainstream narrative and like you have sort of like a contrarian opinion, like opposed to what's being pushed, a lot of people like view you differently. You don't get like you get shit, you get like flack for it. I know like personally, even for the stuff that we've mentioned on the podcast, like I've gotten some people talk to me about it, and yeah, and I don't know, it's scary, especially like in our own lives now, right? We're in senior year, like university coming up too. Like this is like very relevant. A lot of universities now are pushing that agenda, I feel like, and very like liberal. And if you have like altering,
they don't want to be associated with you.
Yeah, if you have different opinions to them, they don't like take you into this institution, and it's very like it's almost like an echo chamber, right? Like everyone's got the same opinions, same ideals, and no one's willing to speak up. And I think if you censor these people and you censor these programs where people are sharing those opinions, no one's going to be able to share their opinions, and then you're just in the society's failed, right? Like there's no contrarian opinion, and then there leads to like government control, and everybody, even though they don't believe in what is being pushed, like let it slide almost. So I don't know. I think it could be very dangerous.
It's so upsetting when you say that out loud. Like when you really like think about it and like talk on it, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah, and then like referencing like last episode, we were talking about transgender like equality. Should it be taught in school education? And we had like there's a really long comment underneath. But like even like that, like imagine that's not like allowed to be like said publicly. Like I feel like the tone of the episode that we had, I was almost more reserved. Like I was saying to Colin before, like I actually made a joke. I'm like, oh, I still want to get into university. And Colin actually brought up a really good point that kind of like changed the way I thought about it. But he said, like, if these people don't agree with my opinion, like I don't want to go to their institution, right? Like, or like not if they don't agree, but like if I hold an opinion that is like shared by a lot of people
or not valued or
right? Like if you're an educational institution, you want to like educate people, right? Like as a post-secondary place of like learning, I feel like people should be able to have different opinions and still be valued, right? Like if you don't hold the same opinions on like gay rights and whatever, like transgender, gender equality, pronouns, all this stuff, if you don't hold the same opinion as a lot of these institutions, you can just get cut right away. And I think it's really messed up.
Horrible, yeah.
So yeah, it will be interesting. Like
it's one thing to be like, I don't agree with you, but you're still welcomed. I still value you as a person. Oh, you don't think like me? Then get out of here. That's so disrespectful. That's so fucked up.
Yeah, and it almost just like now people are walking like people are being cautious about what they're saying.
They're walking on eggshells, which sucks because it's like you shouldn't have to.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, right, with this act, censoring that, because then again, people won't have a place to express themselves, and then we'll see what happens, right? So.
Kind of on the topic of freedom of speech, it's kind of prevalent in not just schools in society and not just the internet. One example kind of is yesterday I had a soccer game, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. It was probably the worst soccer game I've ever played in my life. And you guys are probably wondering why, and there's many, many reasons as to why. To name a few, one of my teammates got brutally injured, and I hope he's doing all right. And, well, there's two injuries. One was pretty bad. The other was kind of, he got shook, but it's not that bad. There's that. There's the injuries. And the reffing was very questionable. Offsides that should not have been offside, quite clearly. And, I try to, being me, I don't like to just, if there's something I'm trying to understand and can get a better understanding of something, I will go and try to understand. So, with that in mind, there was one penalty that was drawn against us, and I asked the ref, I said, ref, explain what happened. And he said to me, I don't have to explain what happened, but I will if you ask me politely. So in my head, I'm thinking, I'm not being impolite. I'm just trying to understand. So I said to him, okay, can you please tell me why you called the penalty? He explained. I said, okay, thank you. That was that. Second half comes around, and I scored a goal that was offside, not offside. Not gonna go into that. And so I was frustrated. Whatever, we move on. Then I was like subbed out. I was done for the game, and I had a really, really tough game because I played all right. I'm still getting rust off because I haven't been with soccer in a while. I missed like an open goal because there was a shot that was deflected, and I was running so fast, and the ball bounced, and I hit the bottom of the ball, and so it went over the crossbar when the net was wide open, which should, I'm that player. I should have made that goal, but I messed up. I slipped up. I shouldn't have been so aggressive on the ball. It happens. I haven't been that mad in a very long time, and I was subbed off, and I was already in a bad mood, right? The linesman called a offside that was deflected off a defender, and he called it offside. Pretty self-explanatory. It's not offside. And I was frustrated, and I get out of the area that you're able to be in, and I said to the linesman, "How come?" And he turns to me and he says, "Back up." So I asked him again, "How come?" And he says, "Back up." And I'm thinking, okay, forget this. It's not worth it. The guy's not trying to tell me. So I leave. I walk out of there, and I shouldn't have left the zone. That's my fault. But the guy didn't have to be a dickhead. So I walked away, and I was frustrated. So I was talking to the people around me. There's a bunch of people there, like fans and also, supporters from my team, and also the teammates of mine. So I said to my teammates, it's interesting that the refs cannot give me an answer when I ask them why they made the decision to make that call. It's interesting that they don't give me an answer. It shows how confident they are in their decision making. The guy heard me, and he called the ref over, and he said my number, and he said the same reason in the first half. So the ref told the linesman that I asked him why the penalty was that he thought I was being rude. I wasn't, not in my opinion. So obviously he told the guy half, "Oh, that guy is, being rude to me," or whatever the hell he said. So he said same reason as first half. So the ref came over, he gave me a yellow. And everybody was pissed. All the supporters behind me were yelling, my players, my teammates, and they're all like, I hear some people saying this is ridiculous. Like, this is the worst game I've ever witnessed. And I'm just standing there like,
yeah.
I can't ask why. You're allowed to ask why. The ref doesn't have to give you an answer, sure, but why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you help one of the people on the team understand why, right? Why wouldn't you just resolve an issue? Why? Oh, I don't have to tell you. Oh, yeah, you don't, but like, why? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Like, are you not confident in like telling me? Like, I don't get it. Like, and so, yeah, they don't have the right to tell me. I have the right to ask, and they, So I was like, fucking done. Like, I was so mad. And so I'm just standing there, and I could, if I couldn't say anything, because if I said something like, "Oh, come on," like play the game fair, or made like some slight comment that was taken the wrong way, how they took it the wrong way by me asking how, I could have got booked again. So I thought, okay, it's not worth it. I'm not gonna go and make another comment because my freedom of speech is extremely limited. I'm on thin ice. If I said anything else about anything, I could have said, "Why are you giving me a yellow?" "Oh, talking back, red."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sorry. So that's like freedom of speech that's also limited, and those people should not be reffing. Like, those people should not be involved in the game, because it actually shows they think I'm being disrespectful, but then they do that, and that's being disrespectful. And the game of soccer should not be in those people's hands. Fuck you guys if you're watching. Definitely not. But yeah, that's very unfortunate. And if I wanted to I couldn't even deal with it outside the game if I wanted to. Because if I could, the guy would have gone on his records. Okay, number whatever. I booked
Yeah.
him. Here you go. Submitting a report. And you know what is also fucked up that I realized? If I wanted to make a report on the referee,
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing against the guy as opposed to the referee making a report on me. If he said this guy was being disrespectful, I want him suspended or whatever, like that, I could have been out. I could have been done for the season, whatever. But if I went and said this ref's being disrespectful, being all this, where's my proof?
And then they'll check the books. They'll be like, oh, I give this guy a card and he was being disrespectful. He's just mad. Get this guy like suspended, right?
So it's like that's another form of freedom of speech that is very fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
That I've had to deal with, and I hate it. I honestly hate it so much, and it's so fucked up. But
yeah, it's frustrating. Like I do that a lot. If there's a call, I had a game yesterday as well, and the reffing was again like your game, not very good. There was some pretty bad calls, and like I'm also pretty vocal on the pitch. Like I speak a lot to my teammates, to other guys. I'm chirping them a little bit, talk to the ref, and the same thing happened. Like I asked for calls quite a bit. I'm like, oh ref, like what's the call? What's the call? Sometimes he just like flat out ignored me, which kind of pissed me off because I'm trying to understand like, okay, what was the call here? Was it offside? Was it like an out, foul, right? Like what was the reasoning behind it? And sometimes you just don't get an answer, which is like obviously really frustrating, especially when you're trying to play a fair game, right? But yeah, like it is very frustrating and like super annoying. We were talking about before, this is like last week, so this was like quite a while ago. But me, Shine, and Colin, like there was like a cut, and we're just like we got the cameras, little intermission, little break, and we were talking about this, and like me and my friends had brought this up earlier, and basically we were talking about like, so on Instagram Reels, you can see like if the account, it will say like next to like at the very bottom, it'll say like liked by this person or like followed by this person, and like if you follow the person, also the comments will come up first, like of the people you liked, if they're in the comment section. And we were talking about how like a lot of people don't know that that's like a thing that people can view who like
how do you not know that?
So we brought it up, we were just talking about it, and my friend's like, wait a minute, like they can see that like what I've liked. And so there's been so many times where you see someone like a weird ass post, or like a post that's like I don't know, it's like some sus shit. I'm like, bro, and then I'm like, this is so funny, like but then we were talking like, do you think that like universities and like people going through applications will like see your liked posts? Like there's been times, I swear to God, I've like liked a post, and then I scroll, it says liked by this person, and I'm like, this guy's an idiot, I'm not gonna like this, and I unlike it. Or I'm like, I like something and it's like probably like a little like questionable joke, like maybe wouldn't fly today, and then I'm like, shit, I don't know if I want to be caught liking this because other people will see it, and then I unlike it. Does that ever happen to you?
That's happened to me in the sense of like, I don't want to like this because it's like people are gonna see that I'm looking at, and it's like it's not anything bad. It's like just like a joke or something like that. Yeah. I've had that happen, but actually this has happened to me a few times. So this one guy I follow, and I don't know if he knows, I don't know if he watches, but probably not. But he basically, I have him on Instagram, and so this kind of also ties into censorship. I was going through Reels, and which I don't like. I try not to do. But I was going through Reels, and basically I saw nudity. I really hate to see it. On Instagram, I saw nudity, and I'm not like a sexual prone dude. Like I'm not lustful at all. Justin can tell you this. A lot of my other friends will tell you. I'm one of the most like unlustful person that you'll ever get to meet, and I don't fuck with that shit. So for me to see that on my Reels, like that's stuff that like you like, right? That's stuff that they'll show you, stuff that is of interest or like mutual, that's been going around, that's like trending.
Yeah.
So I saw this naked girl that had, it was like I don't know if it was oh no, it was just like a see-through shirt, and she had nothing underneath, and it was like it was brutal. But my point is that someone I know liked it.
Yeah, and you can see that, bro.
Yeah, you can see it.
That's so funny.
And I talked to him about it.
Mhm.
He's like, what?
Come on, bro. We're watching your every move. Yeah, there's been okay, this is pretty funny. I don't know if you've seen like Instagram Reels comments are like always just like super out of pocket. Like you'll go down like YouTube shorts, like the comments are always like pretty positive. You'll get the off like pretty bad comment. But Instagram Reels, you go on there, you check the comments and they're just out of hand, man. Like so like it's like the shut up little and then it's like the N-word and then there's like and it'll be like a 5-year-old kid like showing his like Lego collection or some shit. And there'll be like 30,000 comments of people just telling this guy to shut up. I'm like, come on, bro. Like it's brutal. And like there's been so many times, right? I'm going through the comments and like honestly sometimes like we were talking about this before as well. But like the comments are like funnier than the video. Like it's like the video is just like a 5-year-old kid, right? He's just like whatever going through his daily life, showing his Lego collection, and then you go to the comments and like 30,000 comments. Shut up, little bro. And like one of these comments, like I was just curious because I was scrolling down. There was like hundreds scrolling down, and I saw one. And it was like shut up, little, and it's the N-word. And then in brackets he said I'm white, and I'm like,
bro,
come
why?
on. So I click on the profile and there it is. It's just like a random white guy who's saying this, and I'm like, bro, like I don't know if you know about digital footprint, but like,
also like we talk about what they want to like Instagram or social media for that matter like wants to censor stuff because they don't like it on their platform. But I find it ironic that, dude, literally, so ads on Instagram you can't control. You see them and it's always random.
Yeah.
I saw an ad. It was a clothing ad. It was for a clothing brand, like some cheap like Chinese shit or whatever. And it was some naked lady trying on clothing.
That's crazy.
Butt ass naked. And no, like nothing, like literally no clothes on, and they're trying on clothes. And it was an ad. It was just like, it was music over it. And then like, and I sent it to somebody. And I said, this is fucked. Like, this is not a pornographic website. This is not something that I want to be seeing, nor whoever else. But the whole purpose of the ad was probably to get someone's attention and watch it. And the thing is that Instagram does not take that shit down because they're getting likes, they're getting comments, they're getting shares, they're getting support off of it. Yeah. This happened with Twitch. Like, you look at that one person that one like attractive girl that like microwaved her cat didn't get banned. Why? Because she's got like a bra on every like live stream, and they're getting clicks and they're getting money and all this shit. Like, it's and then we get someone like Bathrobe Dwayne that gets banned because someone donates the N-word like one time. Oh, you get like a strike. But someone microwaving their cat when they have no shirt on. Oh, that. Right.
It's like, and then women like over sexualize themselves, and then obviously it does super well on the platform because there's a bunch of like horny degenerate guys who are just like thirsting
and
like
a petri dish of STDs.
And they're fucking like in the chat and stuff. But then also for Instagram, right? Like if it's paid ads, they get paid for that. So like if it's like whatever, bro, they just say fuck it. Like we're getting paid. It's getting likes. It's getting views. It's keeping people on the app. Like shit, go ahead, bro. So,
dude, there's kids on Instagram, which I don't think it should be, but
yeah, exactly. I mean, I think
it is regardless. So
yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure there is like a like the apps say like 18, like not 18 plus, but there is like it's supposed to be at a certain age, like 13 plus or I don't know, whatever, but. Still, like obviously, it's not gonna be like that. There's definitely always kids that are like way younger. Just like people playing video games, there's like age ratings. Like everyone's playing games when they're like younger.
For everyone.
Exactly right. But it's the same thing. Like it is mess that like, again, like they don't censor that shit that is like completely out of line against like the brand image.
Actually against guidelines as well.
Against guidelines.
Their own guidelines.
Yeah, and probably against like. Every country's like censorship like or like association that's supposed to be watching that shit against all of that. So then like maybe there is like going back to the very first point about the CTRA or whatever or CTRC, like you would see kind of like the need for this. Yeah. But like
in this regard,
yeah. But like it's not that. It's just people speaking on their opinions, which is why it's so messed up. So like it's so hypocritical. You're gonna try to take away. You're going to take away the stuff, people sharing their opinions, no hate speech, just like someone's opinion on a subject that is like controversial, even though it's just people should be able to speak on it.
Yeah.
And you don't take away nudity, like full frontal nudity,
Yeah.
on someone's like Instagram page. It's like there's just so much hypocrisy. It's like it's
On an
ridiculous.
ad.
On an ad.
Out of everything.
Yeah,
I reported that shit. I wonder if it's still up.
probably is. Like I think like Instagram too. Like you can put like not interested in shit. And I think you can report stuff, but like what does that really do, right? You're not gonna see it, but then everybody else is gonna see it, right? Like they don't really care as long as they're making money and they're getting views. It's staying up. So
Thanks for reporting. We'll check. No, you won't check it out.
yeah, it's if like one in the odd person reports it, it's staying up.
Exactly, because they're making money.
Last week we were also talking on this Instagram thing. We were talking about like so university applications. Everyone knows they're doing background checks for jobs, universities, work, any like institution that you go and represent yourself. They're doing background checks, right? And obviously social media is a lot of people say it's like an extension of yourself. It's what you put out there. It's what a lot of people see. And we were talking like, do you think that if someone was going through our records, like me and Colin, and we were like applying to like, let's say university, they would check like all of our episodes? Because we have a catalog of 170 episodes, right? Hours of footage to go through.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. So we were saying like the guy who's checking our shit is probably like, you know, he's going through whatever, like Amy Lee's got like a couple posts on Instagram. It's like, yeah, this is fine. And then he goes to one of us and he goes, holy fuck, like 170 episodes of these guys sharing their opinions and stuff on like controversial
shit
topics
all the time.
It's like they're fucked. So I don't know. And also like, I mean, we've said some stuff that like just our opinions, but again, people don't like that stuff.
And society.
A lot of like very left-wing institutions nowadays are very against having opposite opinions and stuff and views on topics. So I think it could be like, hopefully I can like get into the university that I want to go to, but like I honestly think this could be like kind of negative. Like it could be interesting how they go through with it, as well as like they wouldn't tell me that it's my digital footprint. Like I don't think when they reject you, like I don't think they would like list why. But I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
If they told you why, like let's say you want to go to McMaster and then they say, "No, we saw your podcast. Fuck you." Would you would you regret anything, or would you?
No, like Colin said, like honestly, this like it was stuck with me for like a whole like it stuck with me, bro. Like when he said like if they don't allow someone with a contrary opinion into their institution, like fuck that institution, bro. I'm not going there. Like you know what I mean? I don't want to support someone that's not gonna like be equal and fair to all people, right? Especially when there's no hate speech.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not spreading hate speech.
There's no hate speech in our podcast. There's no like nagging on people. There's no like it's literally just us two guys sitting in a room sharing their opinion on a bunch of topics. Like I don't understand
that
why
everyone already talks about, like,
as well as like it's
we
like,
just do it on camera.
Exactly. So what's the difference? Like it's just, to me it's so stupid, and like again I just wouldn't want to support that institution. So
I don't think, to like answer kind of what you were saying, like I don't think that buddy on his laptop or desktop, whatever he's on, is gonna go through 170 episodes since we were 14. I don't think they'll do that. I don't even think they'll check the podcast. Our name has no affiliation with this whatsoever, like our full name and what school we already go to and all that. Like they're not gonna. I would be extremely surprised if they found this podcast, and if they do, so be it. They're gonna have a lot of time on their hands if they want to go find something that they don't like. Even if they're watching one episode, that's like almost an hour out of their day. Yeah. So good luck. Go waste your time if you really want to. But yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't have.
Okay. Well, I guess we can move on to this week. We have another news topic. This is crazy, and like I think I heard something about this a little bit ago, but I didn't think this was like word for word actually what happened. So, this was 2 days ago. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Keith D has officially been charged with the murder of Tupac. Tupac was gunned down on the Las Vegas Strip 27 years ago, and the killer has finally been charged with murder. The guy is 60 now, and he was charged with one count of murder with the use of a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement. The long-awaited break comes in a case that's frustrated investigators and fascinated the public ever since the hip-hop icon was gunned down. A Nevada grand jury indicated Davis is in the killing. Prosecutors revealed in court Friday morning. CBS Las Vegas affiliate KLAS confirmed news of the indictment, which was first reported by the Associated Press. He finally got convicted. My question is, why so long and why now?
Mm-hmm.
That's not been answered. Well, he already lived his life. He already had 27 years of whatever. But, W, I guess. I guess he got what he deserves. He'll probably be in there till he dies if he's 60. So.
Mm-hmm. I know. I think, like, reaching into someone's past like that. Oh, I mean, obviously, like, he committed a wrong, right? He killed a guy. So, obviously, it's not, like he should go to jail. But after, like, 27 years, like, you'd think they would have, like, sped up the case or, like, put more precedence or importance on it.
It's not like a murder mystery either.
But also, like, to me, it's like, why would you wait so long? And, like, why was there not more, like, importance on it then? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if that happened now, people would, like, you start rushing, right? You try, who's this? Get this guy in jail, blah, blah, blah. And when you have someone like that, like, that's a killer, like, you throw him in jail right away, right? For, like, the public safety. But, like, the 27 years down the road, the guy could have had a complete, like, conversion. Let's say this guy is, like, now, like, a practicing Catholic who switched his life around, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a whole different person.
Yeah.
Not saying that what he did, like, wasn't wrong. Obviously, like, should go to jail for it. But, like, at that point, it's, like, so
irrelevant
beyond.
Almost.
And,
like,
like, almost.
Yeah, but still go to jail. Like.
Yeah, for sure. But it's just, like, to me, it's weird.
It's so weird, yeah.
And
Tupac, apparently, like, I've heard this story from that cop. I don't know if this is real, but, like, apparently Tupac knew who killed him. Mm-hmm. Chose not to tell because he didn't want to be a quote-unquote snitch, which that's not what that means. But he didn't die right away. He went to the hospital and died a few days after. So I don't know how accurate that story is. But I heard that when cops on the scene said, like, yo, who did this? He's like, I'm not a snitch. That's not what that means, man. I don't know if it was different back then, but that's not what it means. Yeah, so R.I.P. One of the best rappers of all time. Mm-hmm. And happy that justice has been served to the one that needed it. Yeah, I don't know much about this case. Maybe it's something we don't know. Maybe it was super hard. Maybe there's no cameras. Maybe there's no witnesses. Maybe there's no whatever. And in that case, yeah, it would be pretty hard to figure out who did that. But, yeah, R.I.P.
My question is, like, was this case going on for 27 years, or did they, like, work on it for a couple years and then just thought, okay, this case is dismissed, like, we're not going to find the guy? Like, what made them, like, perhaps re-spark this case? Could they just randomly found some convicted guy who was near the scene? Like, there's so many, like, questions and shit. I just think it's, like...
I think they've just been working on it since then. Because I've heard about this before in the past, like... Steps closer in finding his killer. I've seen that news headline a lot, but yeah. So
yeah,
I think they've been working on it.
Yeah, hopefully it's the right guy. But
you don't convict someone without, like, that's happened before.
Yeah,
where someone's been convicted, and then it's like they realize, like, after 50 years it's not the guy, and they give him, like, shitload of cash and shitload of you know, but it's like you cannot.
You just took away someone's life, like half their life.
There's nothing you can do. On that note, I guess we will see you guys next week, October. Like I mentioned, we got to think of something for a Halloween special. Obviously, at the end of the month, we'll probably do another Lights Out video with some nuke. And I don't know, maybe something else. We'll talk off camera and think of something maybe we can do, something unique. And... yeah, other than that, we will see you guys next week, episode 171. 1. Thank you for watching, listening, subscribing. We'll see you next week.